Hey everybody, it's Chris over at Dixieland Farm with Marissa.
Hello.
And today we are doing a video on the real cost of ownership of DVC, what you're really getting for your money. For most viewers of this channel, you are not going to be interested in this. People who are going to be interested in this are people who just kind of stumble upon this and did a search on YouTube. So we are DVC members. We have been for a while now. We bought via resale. Now, what that means is you can either buy directly from Disney or you can buy via the resale market. When we bought, perks were included. That is no longer the case. So that has to be factored into a little bit of your purchasing decision if you are interested in DVC. However, most of the perks that you get are either discounts, which you can get with an annual pass. Now, of course, very often we actually get discounts on our annual passes. You won't get that, and it can be substantial. It could be what, $200–300 discount on annual passes. So if Disney continues this trend, well, that is a substantial chunk of money, but the likelihood is that is not going to be the case. Ticket prices are always fluctuating, and it seems like they are probably going to be starting discouraging annual passes at some point, more blackout dates, things like that. So, you know, the discounts that you would get as a DVC member, you can get with those annual passes on discounts on food and shopping and even hotel rooms if you wanted to book non-DVC rooms. Some of the other perks are pool hopping. This is something that I don't know many people actually utilize. What that means is, as DVC members, we can go to any pool except for the best pools. So who's going to do that? Who's going to drive to a resort that you're not actually a part of to go in a pool except for the Polynesian and the Beach Club? The best pools you're not allowed in, and same thing with Contemporary. We're members of the Contemporary, so we can actually go to the pool there. So that's a perk that you're probably never going to use. Another perk would be special access to certain areas. That would be the DVC Lounge at Epcot, which could go away at any moment. I think it's for 2019, it's still going to be open, but that is a special lounge in Epcot, which you get free drinks and potato chips. That's about it. Nothing to really get excited about. And there's also the Top of the World Lounge that is part of Bay Lake Towers. You'd have to be a DVC member. However,
you have to be staying on points and a member.
Right. This is going to sound weird, but you could probably befriend somebody if you're staying at a DVC hotel to get you in. So,
member events.
Yeah, member events are another thing. If you were a Floridian who could get down there easily, that would be a perk that is important. Not important, but useful. But most people, it takes a lot to schedule a vacation, so you can't just say, I'm going to be at that member event. If it happens, but very often you're actually not going to be able to utilize that perk as well. So, having said all of that, let's get into math. This is exciting. This is why we're here. Math.
I was told there would be no math.
And we're going to show you a computer, and we're going to just kind of work it out. So, DVC membership has an upfront cost. You're buying a piece of property, and it's a substantial chunk. So it's based on a point system, and you pay per point. For us, we are a childless couple. We tend to go once a year. We are looking for roughly 6 nights to stay, and that roughly gets us at 100 points at the hotel that we purchased at. We could get a few more nights if we stayed not at our DVC hotel, if it's available. If we tended to go during busier times, the cost, the amount of points we would need for the comparable, because it's also on a calendar system as well, so it kind of fluctuates. The busier times take more points, but roughly, you have to look that up with when you tend to go, what kind of accommodations. For everything we're doing here, we're doing what you would be in comparison with a normal hotel room. So DVC rooms can be a normal studio room where you get a bed, a pull-out couch, shower, a little kitchenette. No maid service, except for after the 4th day, you can get towels. Right?
Trash and towel service, although now Disney has implemented daily trash pickup as part of their daily security check, even though they don't really call it that. Disney now wants eyes on every guest room once a day. So DVC members historically didn't have anybody in their room until the 4th day of their trip. Now every day you get a trash pickup so that somebody looks in your room and makes sure that there's nothing nefarious going on, I guess.
So we're going to do comparisons of what you would pay for a hotel room over the life of the contract, right? Because besides the upfront cost, there are maintenance fees. And this is where it starts adding up. So you've got to figure out both the price of the contract, the maintenance fees, and what does that compare with a comparable hotel room if you were paying in cash. Now there are much nicer hotel rooms than just your normal hotel room. There are 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom hotel rooms which have washer and dryers, extra bathrooms, a full kitchen. We are not comparing any of that. We're just doing, so what does a hotel room cost at the Contemporary versus DVC, and the price you pay resale versus the price you'd pay directly from Disney. So let's go ahead and take a look at the computer screen where I brought up a fancy spreadsheet program, and let's take Bay Lake Towers here right now, right? So 100 points, and it's, let's say right now in the resale market, it's $140 per point, so that's $14,000. Now, when you buy a contract, there's an expiration date, so you got to figure out how many years there's going to be and how much usage you're going to get out of those points. So 2060 is when Bay Lake Tower expires, so that's 42 years left. The dues per point, this is how much you would pay per year for maintenance fees. So that's $5.90 per point. So the dues are $24,780. That's $5.90 times 100 times 42. Add the initial buy-in cost and the dues, that is $38,780. That is how much a DVC contract is actually going to cost you. And you're going to get 42 years out of it. So if we divide the full cost of DVC on the resale market, right, divided by how many years, that works out to $923.33 per year. That's how much it costs you. Now, roughly 100 points the way we stay, which is off season, so that's September through December, not during any actual holidays. We can also go after spring break is when we tend to go. So warmer, kids are in school, that roughly gets us 6 nights. So if we take that $923 divided by 6, a hotel room at Bay Lake Towers costs us $153.88 a night.
But Chris, how much would one of those rooms cost if you're paying cash out of pocket?
Excellent question. So we've got a Google search here, so we're going to do rack rates Bay Lake Tower. And we're going to look up at Mouse Savers. That'll give us a general idea. So if we're going roughly between September and holiday, you can see a room can cost anywhere between $538 up to $659. And it varies. You can see it peak, it goes up during Thanksgiving, but December 9th through 13th, we've gone during that time, and it costs us $153.88. That's how much the room is going to cost us.
To be fair, very few people actually pay the rack rate. There are always some sort of discount, whether it's part of a package or whatever. However,
so let's take $538.
You will never be able to get a Bay Lake Tower room anywhere for $153.88.
Well, if we let's take that out there. So 538 times 0.3, so that's $161 of a 30% discount. So 538 minus 161.40, so 376 would be a 30% discount. And I think a 30% discount is
30 to 35 is what you typically would see for the deluxe. Or sometimes what they consider the villa resorts or the DVC resorts.
So you can see already buying at a resale rate is a big savings. Now let's go ahead and take the same figures, right now, DVC, I don't know if you could buy Bay Lake Towers. Hotels do sell out. Disney keeps on adding hotels. That's their business model. But let's say you could call up a Disney representative and say, no, I don't want what you're selling. I want Bay Lake Towers. And they say, okay, we can make that happen. Almost always, the prices right now are $180 a point no matter where you buy. If we take that $180 a point and do the exact same math as you can see on the screen, that jumps the room up to $169.76 a night. What we're going to do is we're going to compare the cost of Bay Lake Towers buying resale versus buying direct, and you can see that over the course of the contract it's not as significant as it is up front. So the difference between buying at $140 on the resale market is $38,780, and buying direct from Disney at $180 a point is $42,780, being $4,000 difference between buying direct and buying resale. You are saving $4,000 buying resale over direct. However, broken down 42 years, let's say, right? You know, how much is that actually costing you? 4,000 divided by 42, you know, so it's an extra $95 a year. And having all those extra perks, you know, up front, you're saving $4,000 over the course of the contract. It's an extra $100 a year. Do you see what I'm saying? So buying direct versus buying resale, up front it's going to cost you, but over the course of the contract, it's still $4,000. But when you add it, is that $100 extra worth being able to get into the lounge, getting into the membership parties, the discount on annual passes? It might make the difference. Buying direct, of course, there's also less hassles buying direct. You call up a guy and say, I want to buy direct, and I don't even think they do credit checks. They go, okay, do you have a credit card? And they just take it.
Well, that's the other thing too. You also have to take into account how you're paying for it. Is it cash out of pocket you just happen to have for some reason $42,780 sitting around?
Well, no, you'd only be paying the either $14,000 or $18,000
right
up front. But you know, if you're financing,
well, same thing. All right, so you have an extra 18 grand laying around, or how are you financing this? Is it cash out of pocket? Are you taking out a loan of some kind? You have to take all that into account as well.
We're not doing that math for you. You're gonna have to do that math. But
that's your problem.
There's also interest rates too. If you were actually gonna, you should never take out a loan to pay for vacations. But let's say you did, right? Like I would say most Americans, buying on credit. Buying direct might be a much lower percentage rate than buying resale. I don't know the numbers, to be honest with you, but I think it's something like 4%.
They do their own
5% if they finance, but 10% if you finance privately through a bank, or it might be more than that. Again, I don't know. That's up to you. We've gone on long enough. Everybody, thank you so much for watching a math video and showing to a lot of you who I always see in comments on vlogs and stuff. Oh, we wish we were DVC. Maybe you don't. We are certainly happy being DVC members. We do not regret it. We love it. We love knowing that we're going to Disney. Financially, does it make sense? Does anything in life make sense? Does buying the Mustang make sense? No. It makes us happy, so it totally makes sense.
You got to do the research. It might be for you, might not be for you. Maybe it is. We didn't think it was until we started researching it and found that it could be something for us. So.
And it definitely works out for us. And the other thing, it holds its value. If we sold today, we'd actually make a profit in what we paid for the out-of-pocket, the actual initial cost. Our points have gone up from when we had purchased. So we'd actually make money on that end. And only the dues get factored in minus the vacation. And I'm not going to do that math because that's pointless. But you can see contracts with only 20 some odd years left, and they have retained their value, their point value, and have actually still gone up. What you paid for Old Key West when it was initially sold, it has gone up. And same thing with Beach Club, and same thing with all of them, except for maybe Vero Beach, I think, has gone down. And no wonder, there are hurricanes that keep constantly destroying the piece of property. But that is the exception. Everywhere else, points have gone up. And we're getting out. Everybody, take care.